Hello folks, and welcome back to our playthrough of the Siege of Avalon. So this is the second time that I'm going to be recording this episode because for whatever reason, when I last recorded this, the mic audio decided to cut out around the 6-minute mark. So I've gone around and did the little fetch quests needed for that tonic that we were working on for our Sage of Pious. So now we're heading back over to talk to Anthemus here, so let's see. What motivates you to disturb me? Who are you? Who am I? Aren't we all asking ourselves that question every day? I'm not. Actually, now that I think about it, no one comes up to me and asks who I am. I wonder why that is. Perhaps no one runs up to you and asks you a ton of questions similar to this one, because unlike you, they are entirely too busy. So you're saying you're too busy right now and that I should come back at another time? Truly, the speed of your intellect whirls my head like a tornado. Just wait until I get started. Smiling. Now, what was I talking about? You weren't listening either. If I talk, then either you or I have to remember to pay attention. I'll try to remember that. Now, I really must be getting back to work. You've distracted me long enough, and I have entirely too much to do. But you still haven't told me who you are. For the sake of Avalon, please leave my presence with utmost haste. It is for the sake of Avalon that I am here, sir. Please tell me who you are and what your purpose is. If I tell you, will you be on your way? You have my word. My name is Anthemus, of House Shadowmar. I am of the 9th Circle of the Council of Wizardry in Fornax. I have traveled to Avalon upon request of aiding its defense. Have you come because of the matter with Pell? That is a matter of concerning those I traveled with. No, curious one, I was summoned here by the War Council directly. I am charged with aiding in the Citadel's defense by providing magical assistance. The Council is seeking methods to attack the Shahul with stealth, and also to make the castle impervious to fire attack. The defense of Avalon is important. Perhaps I could assist you in your work. Normally I'd say no, but since Elazar is not up to it at the moment, I could use your aid. I'm working closely with the sages Opius and Fenton, among others, and we require a few items for our research. Let's see. I shall be happy to assist you in any way I can. Long before I came to Avalon, I had sent ahead a few servants, one of whom I entrusted the possession of an important item to. In order for me to ensure the arrival of this elixir, I put it on someone who wouldn't attract a lot of attention. His name is Elaine, and I believe he has been guarding the outer keep. He carries a satchel, inside which is a glass vial with a hair-thin string of gold wrapped around its seal. What is in it? The vial contains an elixir called Soundless Spirits. A few years ago, I had created the concoction in conjunction with a few other sorcerers, including one of Felius's instructors. The potion is made from the essence of evil spirits who, moving about with a soundless gait, prey upon the living. It is our intent to duplicate the effects of this potion and produce it on a large scale for an elite force within the militia. The ability to move without sound, even when in full armor, would lend great weight to our ability to launch a surprise attack on the Shahul. Find Elaine and return the elixir. Alright. My second charge for the militia, and quest for you, concerns the following. We wish to find a way to sharpen the wits of our soldiers, but also dull their senses to pain. This would enable them to fight longer, more fiercely, and more bravely. I have given this task of research required to accomplish this to my longtime friend, the Sage Opius, who has a collection of old documents related to such. I believe he's working in conjunction with the brewer Gensa. They are developing a powerful drink, the aim of which is to grant the aforementioned abilities. Talk to them both and see if there's anything you could help with. I will look into it. Anything else? Only the most important of charges, and the most difficult I could assign to anyone. My final duty to Avalon is to provide a way to protect its people from the harm of both normal and magical fire. Our time is short, for the Shahul grow ever closer. We must find a way to protect our troops from the shaman's fire magic. Although I have managed to come close in my research to creating a garment of this caliber, I still lack the necessary incantations, and the amount of time I would need to research these methods isn't available. What do you wish of me? There's a book called The Manuscript of Mystic Magic, which contains incantations. I'm certain one of these will aid me in finalizing the fire protection enchantments. Unfortunately, the book was lost in transit to Avalon. How did that happen? One of the mages I was traveling with, a young man from an influential house called Cal Rothog, sought to harness the power within the pages of the manuscript for himself. Understand the book carries a curse with it. If an untrained person reads from it, he will go mad and become one of the living who prey upon men. During the night, Cal stole the text and recited a passage within it, one that would grant him invulnerability to magic. As he spoke the words of power, they entwined themselves within his mind, twisting it and shattering his sanity. What did you do? We tried to subdue him, but the book's spell foiled our attempts. In the midst of the carnage that erupted, Cal fled into the night. Although we do not know where he is, we do believe he is close to Avalon. Any location spell I cast on him gives vague results, only indicating that his presence is close by. I believe he's gone below Avalon, in the expanse of caverns, for the land below still harbors much magical residue. I believe this is why my spell to pinpoint his exact location fails. So you wish me to kill him and return the manuscript? Nay, I wish you to find him, but I doubt you will be able to defeat him. As each day passes, his power grows, and with it, his madness. As the darkness clouds his mind, the shadows of his life become fewer and fewer. I doubt anyone could recognize him now. He probably has even forgotten his own name. But beware, his mind still harbors a keen intellect. He also had a weakness for gambling. Use this to your advantage against him, and you may succeed. I will do these things you ask. Alright, so a couple little quests here. First of all, I can talk to him since I have the thing from Gensa. Tremendous job, Anubis. Your success in delivering into my hands what few others could deserves much praise. He pours the concoction into a vial, a large portion of it anyways, then hands it back, and pretty much commands us to go see Opius. So we'll go back to Opius. Yeah, I didn't really feel like reading all of that. Again, this is the second time that I've gone through this, so I've gotten a little tired of having to read through it all again. Alright, so we're back at Opius. I bring news from from the laboratory. Let's see. I have the potion, and then we get to take the potion while also going under mind control. So we get a +5 to our recharge rate and -15 to our restriction. And pretty much to do this, the mind control thing is done by a second flask of a warm, chunky liquid. And you take it as best you can, and it tastes like rotting meats, leaving the foulest of aftertastes. Pretty much, Opai says you do not want to know what was in that second flask, so interesting. So we have the mind control, which is a nice little boost for our magic. And now we'll go talk to Elaine real quick here. Alright, so Elaine is one of the guards that we encountered back in the first chapter, who we told about cleaning up the bodies of the beetles, or no, filling in the hole that was in the basement of the kitchen, so. Alright, I believe you once told me that you heralded from Fornax. I'm here to inform you that your master, Anthemus Shadowmar, has arrived in Avalon. He's in the inner keep in the laboratory of the second floor, and is hastily working on magical enchantments to our defenses. Yes, indeed, sir. You speak the name of my lord and master, and by the sounds of it, he's up to his nose in scrolls and research once again. Aye, Elaine. Indeed he is. I come to you upon his request. As it was explained to me, you were one of his first servants he sent to Avalon. That is correct. When I was first leaving for Avalon, I was tasked to take a few things here for my master. They were all but just unimportant items. I never quite understood why he required me to bring them with me, and always kept them close to my person. You speak of the satchel of items he gave to you? Yes, sir. Filled with a bunch of useless junk, if you ask me. They're mostly just small trinkets. There is, pardon my interruption, but is there a glass vial in the satchel, with a hair-thin string of gold wrapped around its seal? There is a vial in here, but I can't see any string around the top. Let me take a closer look. He pulls it out and examines it, and after a few moments nods. Aye, sir. There is indeed a gold string tied around the seal. By the spirits, it's hardly a hair thick. Either my eyes are fading, or I'm just getting old. I doubt either is true, Elaine. Anthemus has urgently requested this vial, and I must take it to him with great haste. It is actually an elixir called Silent Spirits, or some such, that captures the soundless movement of the dead. Ew, I've been carrying around something like that? No wonder I'm getting these nervous chills like impending doom awaits me. They've been especially vivid lately, like a blanket of horror wrapped around me forecasting my imminent death. I don't believe it has the power to do that, Elaine. You're probably just nervous from all the recent anxiety within the castle. It's feeding on everyone, and I'd imagine you're no exception. Maybe, sir. Either way, if my master requires it, and you've apparently been sent here in his service, I relinquish it to you. My thanks. This vial will go to excellent use. Alright, so the vial is this little thing right here. So we'll bring that over to Anthemus, and my guess is doing that will give us another thing to learn. Kind of like the mind control. Alright, Anthemus. I've recovered the elixir that your servant Elaine was carrying. Superb! Excellent work, Anubis. For completing this important assignment, and because we need all the mages we can get for Avalon's defense, I offer you the Fornaxin Mana Training. Energy Control, 35 points, but gives 125 mana. Casting a spell requires one to focus his mind and allow the magic to flow through him, making the body a vessel for magic to travel through. This technique teaches you to make the most of your body in accordance with the flow of this magic. In a manner of speaking, by removing the impurities in your motions, both mind and body, we enable you to harbor more mystical energy. As the instructions continue, you feel your body become in harmony with the magical side of nature. Thank you for your instruction, I must be going. Oh, come on. You move. You move. Okay, now I should be able to move. Okay. Darn people standing next to me. Alright. I don't know why we still have that fire gullet in our inventory, but whatever. So now we just have to go down to the depths of Avalon and both take care of the skeletons as well as that guy who read the manuscript who wasn't supposed to read the manuscript. You do not have permission to leave. The voices in the caves have stopped. I think it's a bad sign. We'll not let you down there without Wacian's permission. Oh, geez. Alright, let's head up and talk to Wacian, because apparently we need permission even though we're the guy that's doing everything around here. I'll bet you're just waiting for all this to be over, ain't you? Be careful, or you may get your wish. Off with you now. Please listen to me, Grizzled One. Saratha's told me that there are skeletons down below, and I aim to eliminate them. Aye, that there are, but you'll certainly be mobbed if you go down there. You'll have to get word from one of the higher-ups to get me to open up now. I'll not be risking an undead invasion of Avalon unless you're ordered by one of them to go down there. Besides, last time you came down here to destroy some evil undead. You had help. There's no more lich, and yet there's skeletons. Skeletons that'll attack anything but themselves, even rats. This is unholy. and I think he should be sniffed around to find a better way to go about it anyway. I think Felik might be able to help you. He told me something about concentrations of evil energy that got me thinking about the Lich. What he has to say might give ye a bit of leverage trying to convince someone to order me to open up, you know. Yes, thank you for your suggestion. I shall talk to Felik. Okay, this makes no sense. Because I was ordered by Roth to go down there anyways. But let's go talk to Felik. Welcome back, Anubis. How can I help? Yes, wise one, you can. I have visited with Wacian, and he has told me that you know something of concentrations of evil energy. He believes the Lich left something behind, because there are now skeletons in the depths, who will attack anything but themselves. Attack anything save themselves, you say? Now, why should that be a surprise? Wacian told me they'd attack rats. The skeletons are supposed to be there. They are a project undertaken by Felius's assistant to defend the levels beneath Avalon. That's odd, very odd indeed. Humanoid skeletons will usually only attack humanoid life. Very strange. Yes, I've heard of these sinkholes of evil energy before, but all solutions point to a man of the cloth, for they have a strange and powerful knowledge of both life and death. If anyone could find a way to remove the Lich's taint, that would be Friar Massus. His knowledge in and of the field is unsurpassed. Seek him out, good Anubis. He will either know or discover the answers you seek. Oh, and before I forget, be sure to check on Elazar. The healers wish your assistance, or so I hear. Thank you, Felik. Before you leave, Anubis, I have a request for you. Since my apprentice has been promoted, I find myself in need of another assistant. Someone who is willing to learn a great many things. I couldn't begin to tell you how to find such a person, but I know if you do, you will not find him or her in the old inhabitants of Avalon. It took me long enough to find Icarus among the original inhabitants. No, this new person shall have to be a newcomer. Let me know if you find anyone promising. I'm sure you know the type. You've never seemed to be lacking in judgment. Certainly, Honorable Sage, I will keep my eyes and ears alert. Okay, so apparently Felik is looking to replace his apprentice there as well, but let's return to the Outer Keep. Alright, Friar Massus. Good day, Anubis. I am glad to see that you are doing well. I appreciate that, Friar. I have come to ask you about something evil. Oh my, Anubis. Have you been having impure thoughts? I have come here to ask you about the undead. Although the Lich has been defeated, there must be some kind of taint, for there are now skeletons down below that will attack anything, even rats. Felik spoke of a lingering evil and sent me to you, since your knowledge is unsurpassed in the area. I wouldn't go as far as to say that, although it is true that I have devoted my life to my studies, and that there are of a specific sort. Very powerful minions of evil have been known to leave behind a trace of the same evil, like some spreading disease whose effects remain after the disease itself has been defeated. It is possible, also, that the Lich cast some kind of delayed spell that took effect after its destruction. As far as the solution to this problem, yes, Friar, do you have an idea? At the moment, I'm afraid I do not. Usually a group of holy men would perform an exorcism, but we do not have the numbers. And since there are skeletons down there, the journey would be perilous indeed, especially for men who have not trained in battle. I shall have to think of this for some time, Anubis. It is the best I can do. Please come check with me later, as I may just think of something that might work. I know that the words such as may or might don't engender the greatest confidence. But this is an interesting problem, the likes of which I have not been faced with heretofore, and I shall have to be creative. Very well, Friar, I shall come back to check on your progress later. And good luck to you in your endeavors, Anubis. Please check on Elazar, for Brother Crosby believes he may have found something to cure his affliction. I shall do that. Alright, so we'll go check on Brother Crosby here. And apparently there's something that's going to teleport us here. or something like that. I'm so glad you've come, Anubis. Eleazar has been ailing for some time now, and we fear he is not long for this world. How can I help? Since you were so effective in aiding the Cathayans, when King Isdernus was poisoned, some of my brethren suggested that we seek your assistance. In truth, we are unsure of the exact nature of his affliction, but we thought your experience might enable you to shed some light on the matter. Next to your order, my knowledge must be quite limited. Still, I will be glad to help if I can. We have tried all the mundane remedies we know of, without success. Perhaps you could find us a mystical cure for a strange ailment. I suppose I should seek the counsel of one of our resident mages, for they might have some clue about this strange affliction. I would recommend Elrath. I spoke with him some time ago, and he seemed very busy. He had some information that might help, I believe, but he did not have the time to look for it, when Eleazar's situation was less critical. I am off to seek his wisdom then. Brother Crosby, farewell. Oh dear. So instead of helping earlier when Eleazar wasn't like on the brink of death, when Eleazar wasn't on the brink of death, maybe now Elrath will help out? Completely ridiculous. Good day, Anubis. I've come seeking your wisdom on the strange affliction that has stricken Eleazar. Ah, yes. I spoke with Brother Crosby about this some time ago, but recent events have kept me too busy. I had heard rumors that Eleazar's condition was worsening, but I was not certain they were true. Indeed, he seems to be getting much worse, and Brother Crosby doesn't think he will last much longer. Your aid to our mages has been most commendable, Anubis. Freeing of Felius' spirit was particularly impressive. In light of your efforts, I would shame myself if I didn't do what I can. From what you've heard, what do you suggest is harming him? It's hard to say, especially without seeing him, but recent events lead me to believe that this is some kind of hostile magic assault. These things can be tricky to determine. What specific signs of illness has he displayed? According to Brother Crosby, his hands and head are ice cold, while his chest is burning up. He has been completely out of his wits or unconscious most of the time. That is most unusual. I have a tome which may shed some light on the matter. He snaps his fingers, and a tome appears in his hand. Let me see, it should be somewhere. Mystical illnesses, yes. This sounds like exactly what you were describing. Well, what have you found? It is a very ancient curse, slow and debilitating at first, which will consume even the most powerful mage. Judging from its age and obscurity, and the most likely responsible party for the curse, I'd say the Shahul picked it up from the Naga, or else happened upon it in their brief excursion in the astral plane. Pell was helpful in our last adventure. Maybe she can help us with this matter, or we could try contacting the Astral Guardian. Unfortunately, I cannot contact Anea, for I have closed the portal to conserve my own energies. As for Pell, I have not seen much of her since that Fornaxan magistrate came to Avalon. No, I'm afraid we'll have to muddle through this on our own. Fortunately, I believe we have found what we need. Does the text say how the curse might be treated? The instructions are vague in spots, but there is an incantation in 2 components detailed here. The incantation must be read by someone pure of heart, mind, and body. A fairly standard requirement, and one you certainly meet. The components are a bit more odd, and I don't believe I have any of them. But I imagine one of the merchants in and about the castle may have them. I'd try Reyes or Olin. They never throw anything away. Well, what are the components? You'll first need Grimstone Root, which Olin will likely have. I've heard he uses it for some sort of love tonic, judging from the state of most of our companions in this besieged keep. I imagine he's not used up his supply. The other component is a pinch of ground swampfire flower. As it is sometimes used in exotic perfumes, Reyes may have it. Did you know that perfumes were his primary stock before the war? How unusual? What about the incantation? I will transcribe it for you, does so, and hands it to you. It is not overly long or complex, but I fear it may be a very draining experience for you. Be very careful when you cast this, and make sure Elazar has imbibed the tonic from the components before you begin. Thanks for the warning. I'm off to find Olin and Reyes now, for I fear that Elazar may not have much time left. Alright folks, well I think I'm going to take this as the time to end it here for today. Next Saturday and Sunday will not have a Siege of Avalon episode. Instead we will be doing a Infectinator 3 episode on just Sunday. So nothing on Saturday because I'll be, in my vacation. And then we'll pick up with this series probably either, let's see, when did I say I was coming back? July 31st, I think, might be when this series picks up again. I think something like that. Or no, maybe that's my first stream. So it might be a couple days before that. Anyways, folks, thanks for watching. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and hit the little bell icon so you stay notified for all of my streams and videos. And don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Yeah, hopefully this works after this second recording, because I definitely don't want to have to record this for a third time. Alright folks, thanks for watching, and I will see you all later.